Today is a great, wonderful, amazing, incredible day, and I'll tell you why, because it's a Sweden day. Culture shock from living in Sweden. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Feel comfortable. But what is life without a little bit excitement?
Everybody was looking
true.
at me like something was wrong.
If you want to be generous and say, okay, I pay that one, you are broken, for 2 months you cannot go out anymore.
You might get some sun gone.
Hello everyone and welcome to the newest video. Today's video is about a country that I love focusing on so much on this channel, and it's Sweden. Now last time I was in Sweden, I didn't get a chance to talk to any foreigners about their experiences, which is why we decided to make a new video featuring Sweden in the winter. I've got my host Ana Luisa. She's a Brazilian who moved to Sweden to be with her Swedish boyfriend. So she's a foreigner interviewing foreigners, which I think makes it even better. Hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and let's get on with the video.
Hey.
Tell me your name, where you're from, and how long you've been to Sweden.
Hi, my name is Navna. I'm from South Africa.
My name is Megan. I'm from Minnesota in the United States.
My name is Juliana. I'm from Brazil.
My name
She really got a plethora of people from different countries. I love that, because then you get to see different perspectives from different cultures and how they feel about Sweden when they arrive. Hopefully she gets a Brit as well. Hopefully.
is Rafael and I come from Italy.
So I'm Maya.
Italy.
I'm from Poland.
I'm Elina, and I come from Greece.
I'm Alex, I also come from
Greece.
Greece.
I'm Nikki, and I'm originally from Canada.
I've been in Sweden for about 5 years.
I've been here just over
Wow.
a year.
For about 4.5 years.
She sounds British.
Almost 5 years.
100% living here, two years.
I have been here for 6 years now.
Wow.
Quite similar for me.
I lived in Sweden for 8 years.
What
Wow.
was your biggest culture shock right when you arrived Sweden? The approach of people to basically everything.
I guess how quiet people were. No one says how are you in the stores or anything. So that was kind of a big culture shock for me, because
That's very much a Canadian American type of thing. Hey, how are you? We don't do that in Britain as well, so it won't be a culture shock for me.
people in Canada, it's like, how are you? It's like, I know, it's like, do they care about how I am? It's like, no.
Compared to Brazilians, Swedes are really like set back, which is respectful, but it's also hard to get to know them in a deep way.
When I came in the first time, I was in the metro station and everybody was so silent. Nobody was speaking, and I was like, okay, what is going on? Is there something wrong? And then when I was speaking, and I was speaking loud and a lot, I'm Greek, it was like everybody was looking at me like something was wrong. After 6 years, I can say I have calmed down quite a lot to fit in.
Oh my God, when I'm doing my videoing, when I go to Sweden and I go to Stockholm and I've got a camera in my face and I'm talking loud, I'm probably going to get a lot of looks. I'm prepared for that though. I'm prepared for that because I'm just going to be so excited to be in Sweden. Like, I've been, it's been over a year. Do you know what I mean? So learning about Sweden and consuming Swedish content. So you're going to have to deal with it, Sweden. You're just going to have to deal with it, because I'm going to be loud when I get there and I'm going to be making noise and I'm going to be happy. I'm not normally like that in my daily life, but when I've got a camera in my face, I will be speaking. So I'm going to really stand out when I'm vlogging in Stockholm, clearly.
The way that people have trust for others. They leave their babies outside on the pavement. The other day I was walking through town and I just saw a baby pram. And I thought,
Yeah, I still find that strange but kind of wonderful that you have that trust that no one's going to do anything to your baby. Your baby's safe because it's a baby and no one would do that to a baby, you would think. And you have that trust, and I really love that. That's amazing.
and I thought, oh my gosh, that was like a complete foreign concept to me.
For me, I would say it's like how different people are when they drink versus at night versus when you meet them during the day. Like there was a colleague of mine, I thought she was a bit cold to me. I thought, why? But then during the night, she was drunk and then she was like hugging, like, Alex, it's so nice to have you here. And that was quite shock for me, because in Greece or in Spain, where I have lived, or in Brazil, we are kind of similar during the daytime and night.
Yeah.
They switch personalities when they start drinking.
I confirm that.
Oh, wow. Is that true? Do you switch personalities when you start drinking? I don't think it's so much switching personalities. I think it's that you come out of your shell, that the real person within you comes out. I really understand and resonate with those people. And I'll tell you why. Because I always mention this guy. He's like one of my good friends. And when I met him, he was stone cold, only said a few words, really like not really smiling, not really warm. And I had to dig and dig and dig and dig and chip away until I met the real him. And he's so lovely and he's so warm and he's such a nice guy and so funny. But he had like a wall up. And I think that's like what all Swedes have. I think you're all like my friend. Like you're all like that. And it takes a while or maybe a bit of time for you to gain a trust from a Swede. And then once you have I reckon once you have a friend with a Swede, that's it. You're friends. You're friends for life. And I feel like that is what you guys are like. Let me know in the comment section if you agree. If it's just that it's not that you're cold or you're not very warm or you don't like speaking to people. It's just that if you don't know someone, you don't come out of your shell. It takes a while for you to come out of the shell, and like drinking helps people come out. Let me know in the comment section.
That I confirm that.
Yeah, and the next day they pretend nothing happened.
Exactly. Yes. And I feel so betrayed sometimes. Okay, what happened? We had a good night.
Yeah, and also another thing that I noticed that different from Southern Europe countries, that no one is never hanging on a balcony or from the window. Like in Italy, people really like to be curious and look around what's going on.
Yeah, when I first got to Sweden, I think one of the main culture shocks was probably customer service. On the one side, I actually like that Swedish customer service is more laid back. Like if you go to a grocery store, you're not about to have a full-length conversation with the cashier.
No.
Sometimes I do just want to get my stuff and go. But on the other side, when I've tried to make phone calls to get customer service help, suddenly I'm hoping for a little bit more customer service.
So I'm from Poland, and I think we are more like Balkan or Italian people. Like we're really close to our family. Like myself, I talk with my mom quite often, almost every day. We do a video call, and I think like in Sweden it's not that common. It's not like a must. You have to be friends with your family. It's okay to just stop contacting them, and no one will judge you for being.
Oh my god, I'm so Swedish. I'm so bad at contacting my family. Like, I live in the same city as my family right now, because I'm back in the UK. And they live like... they live a couple miles away, if that. And I hardly see them. I see them maybe once every 2 weeks. It's bad. But I'm very much that. I'm very much an independent person. I don't feel like I need to spend loads of time with my family. But when I do, it's lovely. I feel like I'm a Swedish person born in the wrong body. Do you know what I mean? Born in the wrong country. Born in the UK. Why was I born in the UK? I should be in Sweden. Yeah. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Just because you don't rely. Some people are heavily reliant on their family. There are cultures where people are very reliant on their family. Like, for example, South Asians... I think it's South Asia, India and places like that, where the family is very, very important, very close. Everyone mucks in, everyone, like basically a lot of families live together in houses. Like grandma lives upstairs, sister lives here, uncle, cousin's cousin lives, and they all live in the same house. That's really alien to me and probably really alien to Swedish people, and you probably like the opposite of that. And for cultures where it's a bit more family orientated, I can see why it would be a culture shock to come to Sweden and see that, oh, you guys don't really speak to your family that much, or, you know, you don't see them every day, or you don't call them on the phone every day, you know? It's not a bad thing. It's just culturally, you're just like you're independent people.
Black sheep of the family. I think that's maybe like connected with the really well like system, like welfare system. Like when you're old, you're not gonna be forgotten, and the government will take care of you.
What are the things that you like the most about Sweden and things that you like the least?
So the best thing coming from a country that's messy, the system. Here things work. It's bureaucratic, takes time, a lot of time, but in the same way when you have things in order, things just work smoothly.
Quality of life, people are very nice, polite, there's a very high rate of education in people.
I feel safe.
That's good.
The streets are clean.
That's
the metro
good.
is on time. If it's late, you're gonna get like a message, or they're gonna say it's gonna be 2 minutes late. As a woman, alone, I'm not gonna be bothered, because even if I want to be bothered, they're not gonna speak to me.
Even if you want people to bother you a bit more,
It's not gonna happen.
I never
That's good though. The key word she said there was safe. I feel safe. And as a woman, I'm a woman, but as a woman, I mean, I think that's quite important for anyone, not just a woman, actually, anybody. Safety, like safe. I feel safe is really good. I hope Sweden continues to feel safe. Yeah, she said she's not going to be bothered and it's fine. And she said things are on time. That's important, because in the UK, oh my God, don't come here. Don't come here and use public transport outside of London. Do not. Do not. Things are not on time. Things are not on time. It's bad. Oh, why did I put subtitles on? I have no clue. They're all speaking English. Let's continue.
never imagined a country caring so much for its people. That was like the biggest what for me. I mean, 2 weeks in, I received a health check kit. You know, there's free education. There's the way that they do the public transport and pavements for pedestrians. The free healthcare. Like that's, I find that mind-blowing.
People here enjoy nature. They go for walks. They really value like going to their summer houses during summer.
Just the feeling of the culture feels very lagom. You just feel like everything is very just like balanced, and coming from the US, everything is so extreme in all directions, and so I feel like you come here and you can relax a bit. I mean, it's
breathe.
not perfect, you know, the winters are cold and dark, and yet I still would, I feel much more like at peace here.
For me as a woman,
That's
the best
good.
thing about living in Sweden is equality. So I have really seen that in the workplace, in the society, and it has been a big difference from Greece actually. So I really, really enjoy that.
For me, I would say the best thing is how interesting Swedish people are. They are knowledgeable, they are interesting, it's just, it feels that they are better, if I would say.
She's like, they're just better, okay? Swedish people are just better. You know how I feel about Swedish people. Anyways, I'm low-key a bit obsessed. So, I don't know, I probably agree. I'm a bit worried, you know. I'm a bit worried about going, I've said this a billion times, but a bit worried about going to Sweden and not wanting to come home. Or going to Sweden and being like, oh, I should be living here. Actually, I shouldn't be worried about that. But I'm like, that could happen. That could happen. I could fall in love and then I'll be like, shit, I need to move to Sweden. Or I might not feel that way. But yeah, I got a feeling I'm going to like Sweden a lot.
I take that back. But
You'll be cancelled.
Yeah.
What's something that you don't like so much about Sweden?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Get your list.
Worst thing is that actually restaurants close too early and clubs start like too early and close too early. I don't like that.
People really keep to
So it's early. It's very everything closes really early. I think you guys like your peace. You like your peace. You're not really like late people. I know in Southern Europe they like everything, like food places, they go to dinner later, whereas in Northern Europe and I think Western Europe as well, we go to dinner earlier in the day. Like for example, Christmas dinner. Normally you have it in the afternoon or just 2 o'clock or something. I'm sure in like Southern Europe they're like, no, we have it at 7. So yeah, it's just different cultures in that sense.
Clubs start like too early and close too early. I don't like that.
people really keep to themselves to the point where they won't even say excuse me. They will just try to sneak by you. They will like shimmy along the wall.
Yeah, Swedes hates to bother.
It's like, but all you have to say is like, oh, excuse me. And so that's a huge difference. In the States, we'll be like halfway down that, like away from them down the aisle, be like, oh, sorry, about to come through,
Oh my God. It's sometimes I don't feel like culturally integrated and I feel different from most people. And I think that's the hard part. It's also like when you were trying to learn the language, people do speak English. And that's also very hard because if you're trying to learn Swedish, it's hard to learn the language because everybody wants to speak English.
I mean, to not mention the...
Why is that though? Why do you all want to speak English? Is it that you want to all speak English, or is it just that you hear someone and they have an accent and you're like, well, I'm going to speak English to you because your accent doesn't sound like it's from Sweden? I was watching that video of the other guy. Did I post that video? I'm not too sure. Sometimes I do videos and I don't post them, guys. There was a guy on the video, I think I posted it, and he's learning Swedish, and he said that because I think he's a polyglot and he's like really good at languages, and he sounded quite accurate to me. That everyone was speaking to him in Swedish because they heard his Swedish and they were like, well, he can speak Swedish. Is that what it is? The person has to be really proficient in that language for you to like then communicate with that person in Swedish. And if not, then you just default to English. Let me know in the comment section. Because what am I going to do if I want to learn the language?
The obvious, the warmth overall, the warmth of the weather, the warmth of people, spontaneity. When you have everything set up as people are used to have here, and everything is a certain way, and they live their whole life in this way, I understand that it's difficult to kind of do something different out of nowhere. Feel comfortable like this. But what is life without a little bit excitement? What is life without a little bit spontaneity?
You missed that.
I miss that. Just
you
loosen up.
Sad part is that they're not.
So you're not loosen. You're not. Okay, she's saying that you're very regimented. Things are done a certain way, and you're not as adaptable maybe as other people. Okay. Interesting.
So spontaneous. Then we need to plan ahead so much. Our life is mostly on the weekends, not during the week time. Whereas in Greece, I mean, you just go for a coffee after work so easily.
Right.
And here it's just not so easy.
Every day I don't hear voices outside. When you go out to work or whatever you're doing, you don't hear people talking. They just like straight to work like this. And Friday night, from nowhere, I hear some laughs. It means it's after work, they're going out to drink and they're happy. I mean, in Brazil we also drink, have fun, but we don't have this necessity to like be just in the environment of having fun, to be in that energy of like laughing and make jokes and losing up. We have fun every day.
That's the same as the UK. Honestly, I was walking today, yesterday, I was walking through the centre, and I'm used to it. I don't even realize. But for whatever reason, my attention, I just started to be aware of my environment really randomly. Maybe because I've been in Asia for so long. I just had a moment of being quite like present. Because sometimes you can be in your head and just like not pay attention to what's going on around you. And I was like, oh my God, it's really quiet. I was like, nobody is speaking. Like there's no noise. And it was obviously cold day. And I was like, it's definitely cold climate kind of mentality. When it's cold outside, I don't know what it is. You just don't want to speak. You just want to get to your destination. You're cold. Like you just keep yourself to yourself. You're very introverted and introspective. And I feel a lot of British people are like that in the north of England where it's colder. But I couldn't hear anyone speaking. Whereas in Thailand, I could hear people speaking. And Asia, I could hear people speaking. I was like, it's really quiet. So I think I'm very used to it because this is what I've grown up in. But for whatever reason, I paid attention to my surroundings. Like, it's super quiet. So I think I will go to Stockholm and I won't even realize that you guys are quiet. Or I might do because I'm actually looking for that. I'm looking for the cultural things. I don't know. We'll see.
The price, especially like alcohol or getting a shot when you go out with your friends in the night. If you want to be like generous and say, okay, I pay that one, like, and you are 3 or 4 friends, like you are broken for 2 months, you cannot go out anymore.
I would say it's the weather for me, the darkness, not the cold. I really like the cold, but the darkness is really, really tough. The first year it was basically impossible to manage this like very long darkness.
I do come from Minnesota, and Minnesota is just as cold, if not colder, than Sweden. But the darkness, and I know that is a stereotype of Sweden, but it really did surprise me the first winter I stayed here. I thought I was so ready. No, the darkness is worse because it's not like you get 4-5 hours of bright sunlight, you like might get some sun. Oh, it's gone. Like that's how it is here.
What's something that at first was a shock, but now you said I feel more Swedish. I like this.
I guess herring, pickled herring. That was really odd.
Pickled herring.
I arrived
Can't wait to try that.
on Cinnamon Bun Day.
She arrived on Cinnamon Bun Day. I cannot wait to try your cinnamon buns. I know you know this already. I mean, I've tried a Danish cinnamon bun. That was, oh God, I'm salivating right now. That was so good, guys. That was so good. But obviously, I've heard Sweden does better cinnamon buns. However, people in the comment section were saying actually Denmark, their pastries are very, very, very good. So I'm looking forward to trying both in both countries.
So my sister-in-law was like, come, let's go get cinnamon buns. And at first I was like, okay, but this is interesting. And then there was the Semla Bun Day, and then there was the crayfish day, and then it was this and that and that. And now I'm seeing how the Swedes are taking these tiny little things and making something so cozy out of it.
Organized. They are so organized, and it's trustful because they are on time for everything, and this organization give you security, safety. So if they say like, oh, we're gonna meet there at this time, or something's gonna happen in some way, usually happens, which bring you some kind of sense of stability.
Yeah, and Brazilians are the opposite of that. Brazilians are more flaky, like they say, oh, let's go, next week, let's meet and see, and nothing happens.
Never gonna see them.
Never gonna see them.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, and Swedes are like, oh, let's meet next week and have a dinner or something, and they actually mean it.
And they make an.
That's good. That's good. That means you're committed people. Me with my ADHD. Oh, I didn't tell you I've got ADHD. I think I do anyways. Haven't really been diagnosed. But anyways, me, I'm very I'm very bad with plans. Very bad with planning. I'm very bad with structure. I need to be friends with a Swede. You could structure my entire life. My entire day. I need a Swedish friend. I'm gonna have Swedish friends. I don't know how. I'm gonna find one.
Make an appointment, and you gotta be there 50 minutes early. Okay, not on the time they say 9, be 8:45.
Swedes never meet just to meet. There always needs to be something planned, like an activity, like a theme for the party.
Right.
Like there needs to be something. In the beginning, I thought that was super weird. Like just meet, please. But now I think I enjoy it. Like, I mean, we know what to do, and planned fun is also fun.
I'm not used to plan like free time things, but actually it's good to do that.
Because now I tell him like, oh, in 2 weeks we're doing this, and he never writes anything down. And then when the day comes, I say
That's
like,
me.
oh, we meet there and there at that time. And he's like, what? What were you doing? And I was like, yeah, I told you a few weeks ago, you remember? No, that never happens. But he.
Wow. That's interesting. I would do really well, if I didn't already have a partner, I would do really well with a partner who is Swedish, just to organize my entire life, because I'm very much like him. I was like, oh, really? What plans? Oh, okay. I just need someone to structure my life. That's what my partner does now, actually, to be fair.
But he's learning. How has living in Sweden changed you as a person?
People are on time. I'm not on time. Yes. I'm Brazilian. Yes. I'm 1 hour late. And I had to adapt to that, which I think it's great for me, because it's me adapting for better.
The way of driving in Sweden is very respectful and slow driving. So I take that one back to me, even when I go to another country.
I think I've gotten more quiet, actually. Like, I used to be very loud and very, outspoken and stuff. Now I'm more quiet, because I feel like I can't be too loud because I'm scared of people staring.
Especially being from the United States.
Do you guys stare if someone's loud? I'm so gonna get stared at. I'm not loud normally, but when I'm doing YouTube, I guess I'm loud because it's YouTube. But me, as a person, I'm actually very, very quiet. I'm super quiet, guys. I'm not loud. But I know when I go to Sweden, I'm going to be vlogging, so I'm going to be loud. I'm going to get stared at. Oh my God. I'm going to get stared at. But you just got to get through it, right? You just got to get through it.
States, we really are in our own bubble there. The country is huge, and you know, we do have so many influential cultural things that export out of the US to the world, but not so many international things come into the US. And being in Sweden, it's always just such a refreshing view on just how to live my life, and kind of like, I feel like I'm always humbled every day, because as much as I've like learned a lot of Swedish and I feel very confident, I'm not fluent. And so there's still times where I don't fully understand something. But that's kind of what makes it exciting.
You can't sit around and wait for things to happen. You have to go out and make the opportunities for yourself, make the friends. In the beginning, I was reluctant, but it's given me a lot more confidence, I guess, in myself. I feel a lot more capable as a person because I've had to do so many difficult things.
Do you feel more lonely here? Do you feel happier here than in Brazil? How do you feel about your home country?
Everything that should work works, but culture, I'm not from here, so I have really hard time to adapt. It's hard to like come to a country where everyone does the same or think the same, to make them open up a little bit.
Do you miss your home country?
It's like a never-ending debate, internal debate. Should we go back? Is it better in Greece? Should we stay here? I think there is no clear winner.
Yeah.
If we go back, we will miss Sweden.
Yeah,
So
yeah. When I go to Greece, I find it now very loud and messy and unorganized. So actually, I miss Sweden when I'm there.
What advice would you give to someone?
That's interesting, right? She's now like, oh man, there's so many like positive things to Sweden compared to Brazil. It's not great. You can't have everything. Like, I'm now back in the UK, and I love being back in the UK, but there are aspects of Thailand that I miss. Like, I miss the weather. Oh, the weather. Oh, the weather was gorgeous. I miss the weather. I miss the cost of living. I miss the food. Yeah. And I miss, like, the way Thai people are really good at customer service. So I miss all of those things. But then if I went back to Thailand, then I'd miss the UK again. I would miss certain structural things in the UK. I would miss my family. I'd miss Christmas in the UK, and I would miss not being close to Sweden and all the places that I'm going to be visiting. Like, there's a lot of things that I would miss. So it's like you can't quite get everything from one place. It is what it is.
Someone that's moving to Sweden.
Personally, I would advise you to
Advice.
find like a circle of friends, so you can start from that. Because I know
Yeah.
people who live here many, many years, like myself, I have very few Swedish friends. It's really hard to connect with them. So you should find
Wow.
someone to connect to, because it's quite easily gonna happen that you're gonna isolate yourself. You know, maybe if you come for work, you're gonna go to work, come back home, and you don't have a social environment.
I would say come to Sweden
Right.
if you're prepared for a calmer life. Like,
So you need to basically, sorry, I was late on that, but you need to be intentionally, if you want to make friends, you have to intentionally make those friends. You have to make those friends. And you're going to have to put yourself out there. I already know what it would be like in Sweden in that sense. Like, if I wanted to make friends, I would have to intentionally, like my friend that I knew, and I had to chip away at him and be like, we're going to be friends and we're going to go out and we're going to, hang out. I had to make that happen, and I feel like with a Swede, I'd have to make that happen. You have to put yourself out there and say, I like you. I want you to be my friend. Otherwise, a Swede would probably just not instigate that. I think you're bad instigators. And that's bad because I'm a bad instigator. So, but I feel like if you're gonna live in Sweden, someone has to be the person that puts themselves out there to get friends and to have interactions and all that type of stuff. It's just how it is.
like perhaps don't come here if you want to have like the Barcelona life. But if you want to settle down with your family or like have a more quiet life, this is the place to be, I believe.
Don't move here directly after your studies, for example, when you have no work experience, because it will be super hard to find a job.
First, have things settled, bureaucratic-wise, everything you have to do with the documents, have that in mind on paper because it takes time. Everything here takes time. If you apply for everything, it's going to take 1, 2, 3 months.
What you'll learn is that you do need a personal number, and that is hard to get.
Don't
A personal
expect
number?
life to be the same as
What does she mean by that? You do need a personal number and that's hard to get. What does that mean? What does she mean? What does she mean, guys?
What you'll learn is that you do need a personal number, and that is hard to get.
Don't expect life to be the same as it.
Sorry, she said you need a personal number, so you need a mobile number. Yeah, and it's hard to get a mobile number in Sweden? Confused about that. Let me know in the comment section below. Honestly, like, I don't know what that means. Is it hard to get a mobile number in Sweden?
As it was back home, or even greener. You know how they say the grass is greener on the other side? It's only greener if you water it. It's such a cliche. It's only greener if you water it and if you make it. So you have to put in the work.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. There are culture shocks, and I don't think the culture shocks are going to be as apparent to me than it would be from like someone from like Southern Europe or Brazil or somewhere a little bit more warm, like a warmer climate place. Because I'll be coming from the UK, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be very interested as to how it feels for me. I think yeah, I can't wait to go. We'll see. I'm going to take you guys with me. That's going to be documented. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you very soon.